Welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast with Phil Graham. We help you master Facebook ads and give you an unfair advantage over your competition. Are you ready? Let's go.
What's up, podcast family? Welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast, episode 440. I'm Phil Graham. Today, I'm going to be sharing what I look for first in a failing ad account. Essentially, how I do a mini audit of an account that's not working. So if your ad performance isn't going very well, maybe it was, but it's not anymore and it kind of dropped, or maybe it's never been that good, it can be tempting to just panic and just change everything. But through my experience, I've found that a lot of times problems or issues might be traced back to just one or two key areas. That's exactly what I check first when I'm troubleshooting an account that's not working. And I'm going to share that process with you in today's episode. Thank you guys for being here. I'm excited. I love recording this podcast. You know, this is, I think, my 8th year of doing this podcast. I do it every single week, and every week it's one of the most favorite times of the week for me. And I do record these every week so that you're always getting up-to-date, relevant information. So I really appreciate you guys being here. And before we jump into the content, if you guys are wanting some help with your ads, whether it's one-on-one coaching or you want somebody to run them for you, or maybe you want some help with your AI or any of that marketing related stuff, let me know. You can go to my website, philgrahamdigital.com, or you can DM me on Instagram at philgrahamdigital, and we can set up a short Zoom call and connect from there. So as usual, I want to make this episode short, sweet, full of value, and very actionable for you guys. So let's jump right in and talk about what I'm looking for first with a failing account. Now, this is not going to be everything I look for because doing a proper audit is something that might take days. But to really start you off looking at some of the most important things, this could make a big difference. So it doesn't have to take a long time to do this initial overview, but you want to make sure that you look at everything that I'm going to talk about because it's all important. So let's talk about step number one. When something is failing, there's a number of reasons that could cause the failure. And keep in mind, some of them are ad related, whether it's targeting or ad copy or many other things. But sometimes it's not ad related. Sometimes it's what's on the website. It could be something as simple as the landing page or sales page loading really slow. It could be that. It could be your headline on that page. So keep that in mind too. But for the most part, this is going to be a little bit more focused on the ad side of things today. So step one is the offer. So when you're running an ad, is your offer compelling? Is it relevant to the audience that you're targeting? And is it really specific? That can make a very big difference. For example, sometimes I'll see an ad with an offer, but the headline will be really generic, like check this out or find out more. And that'll be like the headline. And then in the ad copy, there may be a specific offer. But the thing is, some people scan ads differently. Some look at a headline, others look at ad copy, others look at the video or image. And some people look at a combination of those things. But let's say they're only scanning headlines, determining whether they're going to keep engaging with the ad. If you have something really generic that could be literally for anything, like find out more, that's not good. Even something as simple as that could cause an ad to fail. But you really want to look at your offer. You want to make sure that whatever you're offering, whether it is a product or service, whether you're selling in the ad, maybe like through retargeting, or even if you're offering something for free, like a lead magnet of some kind, it's got to be compelling. You know, it's got to be super relevant to the people you're targeting. And it's got to be specific and simple and clear so they know exactly what you're wanting them to do. And I would say also this goes for the other side of the ad. You can have a perfect ad that does all that. And if it sends them to a landing page or a sales page that then has a bad offer that's not very optimized, then the best ad in the world isn't going to be able to fix that. So you want to make sure you check your offer, not only in the ad itself, if you're having an offer in there, but also just as much, if not more, on your landing page and or sales page, because it is very important. Make it clear, compelling, and simple, and really focused. Step two, I definitely look at the creatives, and that includes the video or image. It also includes the ad copy, including the headline, as well as like the main ad copy. And there's a lot of things that I'm looking for here. Number one, I would say most importantly, is there a good hook in your ad? I like to have hooks in three places: the headline, the start of the ad copy, and then either in the image or in the video thumbnail and what you say first in the video. All of those places. If you don't have a good hook, if there's not a good reason for somebody to continue to look at your ad or watch your video, then no matter how good you are or your product or service is, it's probably going to fail. You've got to be able to get their attention. You've got to be able to stand out, and it's got to be relevant to them. Your message has to be clear in 3 seconds or less, whether it's in video and as well as in your ad copy when people are scanning it. If they don't feel like it's clear or specific to them, they're just going to keep scrolling, and you are going to lose time and money in those types of situations. A big mistake a lot of people make in their ads is talking about them first, meaning yourself. Instead, you should be talking about your ideal audience. What problems do they have that you solve? Or what is something they want to achieve that you can help them and you can inspire them? You've got to have great hooks in your ad. If you don't, you're probably going to fail. Okay, step number 3, I look at the targeting, the audience that we're targeting. So what I like to do is I like to have a few different audiences that we target. Typically, I'll target a large, broad audience, like using Advantage Plus. But in addition to that, I'll have at least another ad, if not 2 or 3 ads, that target smaller segmented audiences, which a lot of times actually work even better than Advantage Plus, sometimes way better, not always though. But I have these segmented audiences that have fewer people that are very specific to different interests and behaviors and demographics. And so I've got all these different types of audiences, and then I match the ad copy to the type of audience that I'm targeting. So sometimes people are only targeting these big, broad audiences, and they have just a general message that tries to reach everybody. And when you're trying to reach everybody, you're probably going to reach nobody. And that's an issue. Some people, in terms of targeting, are not really targeting warm audiences as well. Like that's another mistake, especially these days. I see a lot of people not doing retargeting, or they're not doing it effectively. So when it comes to targeting, make sure you're not only doing broad audiences, make sure that you're doing both broad and segmented. And also make sure you're doing retargeting in addition to that, because if you're doing everything right on the ad side and even on the website side with your landing page or sales page, but you're not targeting in a strategic, smart way, then there's a good chance you're going to fail. And then last but not least, step number 4, of course, we look at the metrics. And I don't always do it in this order. I mean, I do it pretty fast because I'm good at it and I've done it for years. So I can kind of blend it all into one thing here, but the order doesn't matter. These are all equally important. But when you look at the metrics, there's different things I'm looking for. Obviously, there's going to be the return on ad spend and the cost per lead or cost per sale. Like those are obvious, but sometimes, especially in newer ads, it takes time to get some of those going. And so there's other metrics that you can look at along the way before you get to your destination. It's like if you're going on an airplane, if it's a 3-hour flight, you can't expect to get there in 5 minutes. However, if you're a pilot, you can look at your instruments and know that you're headed in the right direction, even though you're not there yet. Before you get sales coming in, especially in newer campaigns, you got to look at some different metrics. So we look at lots of different things: link click-through rate, cost per click, CPM, something that I call thumb stop rate. Like, are people paying attention? Are we hooking them? So we're not only looking at return on ad spend or cost per lead or cost per sale. There's these other metrics that are super important. So what a lot of people do is they only focus on one metric and forget about the rest. Some people just don't even really look at any of that. Those are all big mistakes. So what I do is I look at everything together. Let's say you got a new ad and it hasn't produced any sales yet, but the click-through rate's really good. The CPM is good. Thumb stop rate is good. And you're getting some engagement on there. Should you turn it off? Well, probably not. There are exceptions, but a lot of times those are good signals, unless it's been running a long time, obviously. You really got to pay attention to the metrics. It takes time and effort to get good at this stuff. But the good news is if you focus, anybody can get good at that kind of stuff. So to summarize, make sure your offer is simple, compelling, and relevant to your audience. Make sure your creatives, meaning videos, images, and your ad copy, have hooks that stop people in less than 3 seconds and get them to pay attention because it's specific to them and their problems and their challenges. Make sure you're targeting in a smart, strategic way, and you're not just randomly targeting Advantage Plus without doing other smart targeting options. Make sure you're paying attention to a lot of different metrics because those things can really make a big difference. So most accounts that are failing are not totally broken. A lot of times they just need some tweaks here and there, little things that might need to be fixed. And as always, just a reminder, it's always important to point out that every business is unique. Results can vary. There's no guaranteed outcomes. So always keep that in mind. So my friends, episode 440 is in the books. I'm so glad you guys were here. I hope it was helpful. It's really important information. Make sure you put it into action. Of course, if you need help or you want to get in touch, philgrahamdigital.com is the website, or you can DM me on Instagram at philgrahamdigital. And I will talk to you on next week's episode. Have a great week. Peace out.
Thanks for listening to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast. Please remember to subscribe and share this with all your friends. For show notes, more tips, and to learn more about Phil, please visit philgrahamdigital.com/podcast.